Good morning, everybody. Wednesday morning. It is March 10th. I'm Darlene Rodriguez.
I'm Michael Gargiulo on Scala's here tracking our roads and rails, and Storm Team 4's Maria LaRosa is here with today's forecast. Boy, everyone really enjoyed yesterday, Maria.
Yes. I don't start with that temperature change from the traffic now. And Lauren, hey, Lauren.
Hey, Maria. Good morning. If you're headed out right now, it's just construction that could potentially get in your way. Over on the Verrazano Bridge, the Staten Island bound lower level is closed, so stick with the upper level if you're headed that way. Heading into Brooklyn, both levels are open, but you could see a lane closed. Then heading over to the New Jersey Turnpike, here's what it looks like out by Newark Liberty Airport. Everything moving along nicely, but southbound, the truck lanes are closed with road work from about exit 14 all the way down to exit 8, and that should be like that till about 6 a.m. Michael, over to you.
Lauren, thank you very much. Happening now in Brooklyn.
Average today, of course, not as warm as yesterday by about 10 degrees. Only up to 54 today, 50 in Merrick, 50 in Bridgeport, so cooler for Long Island and right along the coast because of an easterly wind. But the wind will change tomorrow. We're back to picking up that southerly surge, and temperatures will warm accordingly. How about approaching 70, maybe record territory too? I'll talk about that coming up in the 10-day forecast.
All right, Maria, thanks so much. Still.
If you are getting on the subways at this hour, there is overnight track work out there on the 2, 3, 4, 7, and F line, so expect delays in service changes until 5 a.m. As far as the major commuter rail lines go, so far so good. They are on or close to schedule, and let's take a live look outside.
Lauren, what's going on?
Not too much in the traffic department, which is always good news for drivers. If you're headed out right now, it's just some construction on the road. So the Staten Island bound lower level of the Verrazano Bridge is closed for a bit longer. So stick with the upper level if you have to head that way. You won't have a choice. Heading over to the New Jersey Turnpike southbound, the outer roadway or the truck lanes are closed. That's from just north of exit 14 all the way down to exit 8. And that's scheduled to be out there until about 6 a.m. We'll take a live look outside. Alternate Saturday street parking rules and meter rules both in effect, but you still only need to move your car the last day listed on the sign. Darlene, back to you.
Absolutely. All right, it's 4:22 right now. Still to come, bagel battle.
Right.
The article that's igniting a bi-coastal controversy. We have some reaction.
And then we're going to set the story straight. But first, this.
For the first time since last March.
A lot of people talking about this.
Yeah, I mean, my mom hasn't seen my kids in quite a while
Right.
as well. Oh my God. You go ahead. You guys take this one.
Not me.
Darling, why can't you be more like me? Nothing impacts me, as we all know. I just look right to the left of the screen.
He
Maria.
does, yes. Usually it's Michael crying, but I cry with him.
Usually I'll be laid out on the desk.
Yeah, what a sweet story. We do
It
love
was
that.
really beautiful,
We're looking
though.
forward to so much more of that, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. My dad hasn't hugged my guys in almost a year, too. So, whew.
Oh,
Okay.
man, here we go.
Here we go.
Whew. All right, we have clear skies, so nothing to cry about there. We have.
If you are headed out right now, there are some delays. If you're headed towards the outbound GW Bridge, that construction underneath the apartments has started to slow things down. So usually this is what happens when they're wrapping it up. It should be wrapped up by 5 a.m., but likely sooner, so I will let you know. Then heading over to the subways, you do have overnight track work out there on the 2, 3, 4, 7, and F lines, so delays and service changes will be out there until 5 a.m. Darlene, back over to you.
All right, Lauren, thank you.
On the way. It's the Amusement Report. Good morning, everybody.
It is.
4:30 a.m. On this Wednesday, it's the 10th of March. I'm Michael Gargiulo.
I'm Darlene Rodriguez, except some days we're not amused,
We're
right?
not amused, right?
Tracking the roads and rails, Lauren Scala has that. Storm Team 4's Maria LaRosa is here with the forecast. Good morning.
Good morning. So I guess, do I amuse you?
I knew you were going to say that.
Yes.
Like a clown funny?
Like a clown? Funny. All right. Yes, we are. Jacket required. And then a few clouds tonight, 10 p.m. temperature, 47 degrees. All right, Lauren, good morning to you.
Well, as you were getting teased, Maria, I was just looking at the traffic on the screen, and it was very helpful because there was a lot of it. It's the only place out there on the Alexander Hamilton Bridge, and that's because they're clearing construction on the outbound GW Bridge on the upper level. So you can see things slowly crawling across the span, and if you were looking up just a few moments ago, you saw the jam on the Cross Bronx getting into that. Then heading over to the Verrazano Bridge, just a heads up, Staten Island bound lower level still closed with road work, but you'll just have to stick with the upper level instead. Michael, over to you.
On that roller coaster ride up near 70 the next 2 days, but obviously we don't stay there. We'll talk about the big dip and how it sort of sets the scene into next week, in the 10-day forecast.
All right, Maria, thank you. Well, Royal
Times article gives Cali too much love. We're going to have the breakdown
Oh boy. If you're headed out right now on the subways, there's overnight track work on the 2, 3, 4, 7 and F trains, and that'll be out there for about another 20 minutes, so expect delays in service changes, but so far so good for your major commuter rail lines. Let's take a live look outside.
West Coast bagel. I mean, he's from Westchester, right? So he's using the East Coast mojo.
Yes, but you know, we've seen that a lot with pizza. New Yorkers go to Florida, for example, open up pizzerias, and it's just not the same.
Right.
So something is missing.
That's it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, I love B&G Bagels, Main Street Ramsey, just ahead, I think the best bagels. We've got to...
Alternate side of the street parking rules and meter rules both in effect, but you still only need to move your car the last day listed on the sign. Michael, back to you.
Okay, Warren.
Listen.
Listen on the sign. Stay 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 listen on the sign.
Largest markets. Lego says the results were because of investments it made years ago to shift sales online.
Isn't it great that it's a toy that you create things with? It's not digital. It's not a screen.
And it can, you know, and this is something I used to do with my son when he was younger, because he loved Legos and had a bunch of them, and I would be sort of his assistant, you know, where I'd open the book and pass him the toys and he'd build it. So it's like a good thing to do together as well.
There we go.
I mean, he's 20. I don't think he wants to do Lego sets with me anymore. So
I did one last week.
Did you really?
They have the architecture ones now that are kind of like high end and fun for adults.
Beautiful,
I did Sets of Liberty. Yeah,
I'll be your assistant, Lauren.
Okay.
There you go.
And I can say I own about half of the world's supply.
There you go.
My 3 boys, they watched YouTube videos and created new things with the pieces they had. So
amazing.
check out YouTube for the pieces you have already.
That's
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's talk about today and Clinton this afternoon. All right, Lauren, good morning to you.
Good morning, Maria. If you are headed out on the subways right now, there are delays on northbound F and Q trains, but there is an update. NJ Transit said that they were able to close the Portal Bridge, so it's now back in the position that it should be. There's residual delays on a couple of trains that should have taken off a little while ago, but otherwise, looking forward, everything should be on or close to schedule. Darlene and Michael, back to you.
Thanks, Lauren. 5:26 right now. Still ahead, March Madness returns to the Garden today, but with a much different look. Plus this.
On the Cross Bronx Expressway, there's police activity on the outbound upper level of the George Washington Bridge, really kind of under the apartments here or just after. So you can see the delays on the maps. I'm going to show you the live delay here in our exclusive Cross Bronx Expressway camera out by 3rd Avenue. So you can see that is quite a backup now. So definitely a spot to avoid. Stick with the Bruckner. It's not too bad yet. We know that that gets bad later on as well in the same area. So for now, Bruckner is the way to go. And then heading over to New Jersey, Route 53 or Main Street, still closed out there by Front Street in the Parsippany area. An accident involving a down pole and wires is what's causing that closure. Michael, back over to you.
Okay, Warren, thanks so much.
In quite a while, and
I know.
being able to hug them and
I think a lot of
feel
grandparents are in that.
So many grandparents.
So there'll be a lot of great reunions coming up.
Yeah, we're hoping that as this vaccine rolls out, more grandmas and grandpas can.
A lot of visits,
those
right,
babies.
Maria, that have been put off.
Oh.
Hopefully coming back soon.
Right, you have that sense, right? And we're making plans. And perhaps you were out and about yesterday.
Lanes closed once again. Sometimes they're letting that right lane through. Crash out here westbound approaching exit 53 White Plains Road. So things are jammed up through the Bruckner interchange. If you can get onto the Bruckner after this, clear sailing. But if you get on the Cross Bronx instead, you're going to hit that other delay. So not a fun ride through this area whatsoever. Then heading over to New Jersey on the Turnpike extension or the Newark Bay Bridge, you have some construction westbound on 78 causing some minor delays out there. And then in the Parsippany area, Main Street or Route 53 still closed by Front Street with a crash that involved a down pole and wires. Alternate side of the street parking rules and meter rules are both in effect today. Michael, back to you.
Hey, Warren, thanks so much.
Right.
They're in the food critic
protection program. Yeah, but we couldn't talk to her, but we did talk to Lauren.
Right,
and Lauren's been analyzing this article, right, Lauren? And you were saying it's not so much they're saying it's better than New York, but really more it's really good for California.
Right, in that context. I think the headline of the article is slightly misleading because she does say that she's a New Yorker, the writer, and that the bagels are really good for West Coast bagels. So
that's what we're talking about. Exactly. We can agree with that.
And we love good food no matter where we go.
We do.
And I think one of the common threads, too, is a lot of transplants from the East Coast making those good bagels on the West Coast.
So it's technically New York.
All right, so we're going to let it slide is what we're saying.
Yeah. And we're going to butter up or maybe cream cheese this morning with the bagel. I'm getting hungry. We have the sun coming up. Pretty nice March day. It is cooler than ahead. Lauren?
Thanks, Maria. If you are getting on the subways, you have a service change on the 6 northbound trains. They're running express from 59th Street over to 125th. You also have delays on northbound 2 and Q trains. Darlene and Michael, back to you.
All right, Maura, thanks so much. Coming close to 6 o'clock and still to come, it's the gaming giant about to take on Wall Street. A debut on Wall Street estimated at $30 billion.
Clock. All right, Lauren, good morning to you.
Good morning, Maria. Good morning, everyone. Things are starting to slow down where we typically see them slow down, but I'm going to show you the trouble spots, and they are in the Bronx. So heading over to the Bruckner, one lane is least reopened here. There is a crash on the westbound side by White Plains Road. So just before you get there, you can see delays back through the Bruckner interchange there. And you can also see delays on the Cross Bronx. I'll take a live look over there where they're starting to ease a bit. There's a stalled vehicle on the outbound upper level of the GW Bridge, and things have been pretty jammed up all morning. So in the event that that's cleared, those delays still have to ease out. So definitely leave yourself plenty of extra time. Darlene, back to you.
Okay, thanks so much.
Talk about the weekend. A big dose of reality here, back into the 40s, where we stay for a while. We'll talk about that in the 10-day forecast.
All right, thanks, Maria. Also ahead.
And then cameras rolling during a close call. We're going to tell you about a frightening encounter between some skiers and a bold bear.
Oh, boy. If you were headed out right now, northbound 6 trains, they run express from 59th Street up to 125th. You still have delays out there on northbound Q trains. But if you're headed to any of your Hudson River crossings on the inbound side, you're in for a nice ride. We'll take a live look outside at the Holland Tunnel.
Good morning, Lauren.
Good morning, Maria. Good morning, everyone. If you're headed out, there are some slowdowns at this hour. Over on the Bruckner Expressway, there's an accident out there that takes out 2 lanes or 1.5 westbound approaching exit 53, which is White Plains Road. So delays are backed up on the Bruckner through the interchange there. And then you can see on the maps, too, here that it's a very slow go on the Cross Bronx Expressway. There was a disabled vehicle earlier on the outbound upper level of the GW Bridge that cleared. So delays are easing out, but they have not yet eased out this far east. So leave yourself extra time if you're headed that way. Then heading over to the Gowanus Expressway, you have a stall in the HOV lane out by 38th Street. So things are a little jammed up through here. And watch out for a crash on the Garden State Parkway northbound on the ramp to exit 129, which is the New Jersey Turnpike. That's starting to back things up. Darlene, back to you.
All right, thanks.
Before deciding to ski away, that's when the bear started chasing him, then stopped and wandered into the forest. So that bear is moving.
Moving quickly.
Quickly.
Might be a mama bear because they tend to get aggressive.
Don't stop and engage with the
Don't
bear.
engage with
You're
the bear.
on skis. There's a hill.
Keep
Use
it moving. Keep it moving.
It just wanted to play.
Yeah, the bear wanted to.
It didn't want to eat anyone.
Just smack him around a little bit. Yeah. Boy, oh boy. No, thank you. That's yet another reason why I don't ski, Maria.
Oh, it's a good one. That is a good one. I've seen some aggressive squirrels, but I think that's about as rough as it's gotten for my ski adventures. Let's take you outside right now. Maybe some sun glare on your. What's going on?
Had a couple of issues on the subways this morning. What's left out there at the moment, you have delays on Uptown 6 trains. Major commuter rail lines are fine, and if you're getting on the ferries, they are all operating on or close to schedule. So a pretty good morning so far for mass transit. Michael, back to you.
Okay, Warren, thanks for
On.
Good morning. There are some things going on for the commute right now. I'll start with good news. That crash on the Bruckner westbound by White Plains Road cleared, but delays are still out there. Then heading over to the Garden State Parkway northbound, there's a crash on the ramp to the turnpike. So that's exit 129, and things are pretty jammed up through here. And then finally, heading over to the Gowanus Expressway on the inbound side, you have a crash in the HOV lane. It looks like it's on a flatbed tow, so hopefully they're about to clear it. But as you can see, that's out by 38th Street. Delays are almost back to the Verrazano Bridge. Darlene, back to you.
Okay, Lauren, thank you.
Hello will go in the 10-day forecast.
Maria, thank you so much. Still had evacuations and catastrophic flooding. There's new video in overnight as heavy rains turn parts of Hawaii into a disaster zone.
Her granddaughter in over a year.
All delays on the subways have cleared. For path commuters, though, there are now delays on the Hoboken and 33rd Street line. Otherwise, major commuter rail lines look good this morning. Ferries also in great shape. For ferry commuters, no delays or service changes. Let's take a live look outside at the roads here.
Lauren, what's going on?
There's some big problems out there right now on the Manhattan Bridge. We have a live picture here of this just a few moments ago was some kind of dump truck hit. That car was T-boned, so they were able to move it over. Looks like one lane now gets by. Just a little while ago, this was fully closed. So this is the Brooklyn-bound upper level of the Manhattan Bridge. You can see the delays out there with just one lane getting by. Stick with that lower level if you can in the meantime. Then heading over to the Garden State Parkway northbound, you still have an accident on the ramp to the New Jersey Turnpike, which is exit 129. Delays go back onto the Driscoll Bridge at this point. Let's take a live look at V lane. So things are once again. Alternate side of the street parking rules and meter rules are both in effect. Darlene, back to you.
Thanks.